Iron Man's final film, except it totally wasn't. Iron Man 3, directed by Shane Black, released in April of 2013 with a runtime of 2 hours and 10 minutes. Production budget of $200 million, a worldwide total of $1.2 billion, which puts its profit margin at $1 billion clear of cost. Okay. Starring Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle, Guy Pearce, and Ben Kingsley. Special mention for Ty Simpkins for being a child actor that I actually enjoyed watching on screen. This is also Miguel Ferrer's last movie before he lost his battle with cancer. Okay, so let's get into it. This is the last movie in the Iron Man trilogy, and they decided to go big, and they went loud as well. Some very over-the-top action sequences, some very nice James Bondian style action sequences, some very loud and noisy characters, maximum Ben Kingsley, like 50 different Iron Man suits, a whole bunch of burny, punchy, explodey henchmen, clever script with fun dialogue, and a nice wrap-up to the whole Tony Stark story just in case they decide to end it here. Which they didn't, because it's Robert Downey Jr. and he came back for what? 5 other movies? 6 maybe? This would easily be my favourite Tony Stark performance outside of an Avengers movie. Extra witty, extra clever, very self-depreciating as well. And lots of that classic Robert Downey Jr. stare into the middle distance and make a face sort of acting. I really enjoy that stuff. Pepper Potts is finally in a suit of armor. That was very cool to watch. I don't mind Gwyneth Paltrow in these movies. Rhodey gets a good amount of screen time as well, which I love. And Guy Pearce does his acting chameleon routine once again by being funny and tragic and charming and romantic and then menacing and then diabolical, then cunning, and then everything else in there as well. He's all over the place and it's good value. Brings me to my favorite character in the movie, Ben Kingsley as Trevor Slattery. Favorite sequence is still watching Ben Kingsley and Robert Downey Jr. trying to outdo each other in the weird. That was incredible. Alright, real quick, we'll talk about the Mandarin. Yes, it wasn't the Mandarin. This wasn't the real Mandarin. No kidding. Real Mandarin from the comics is a horrible stereotype from the 80s. I'm very, very glad they didn't go with that one. When Trevor Slattery was pretending to be the Mandarin, that was amazing. Killian as the Mandarin, I really didn't like that. They treated the Mandarin more like a badge or a title in this movie. Put on the hat and you're the Mandarin. But good news, the Marvel one-shot included on the Blu-ray, that explains the whole Mandarin thing, reveals that neither of them are the real Mandarin and the real Mandarin is still out there and not happy about it. That of course doesn't mean that a whole bunch of people didn't get mad about it, but hey, they're allowed to get mad about it. It's an opinion and a movie which is subject to, surprise, surprise, opinion. Running out of time. Real fast overview of the movie. In 1999, a disabled scientist called Killian creates a drug called Extremis. He brings it to Stark. Stark rejects him in a cold and really kind of nasty, brutal way, and therefore creates his own villain. Once again, the whole thing is Stark's fault. Flash forward to now, Stark is suffering PTSD post the Avengers battle. The Mandarin suddenly appears, blowing up lots of stuff, executing people publicly. Rhodey and Tony try to stop him. Tony apparently is killed. Rhodey runs off to try and save the day. He also gets captured. Iron Man runs around doing stuff with things, builds himself a James Bond arsenal, and infiltrates Mandarin's base to rescue Rhodey, capture the Mandarin, and discovers the whole thing is a complete sham. Dialogue, fight. Killian is revealed to be the actual Mandarin. He kidnaps Pepper, subjects her to the extremist treatment, escape, much more fighting, suits everywhere. Pepper's alive, Pepper's dead, but Pepper's alive again. Punchy, burny, stabby, boom. Tony reaffirms his love for Pepper and demonstrates this with a fireworks display that's probably worth around about $500 billion. Also has one of my favorite post-credit sequences. I really like that scene. As I said before, the script is good and the dialogue is very clever. Pretty much every character gets a real time to shine. Happy, Pepper, Tony, Rhodey, everyone. CGI, top-notch stuff. Looks good. At no stage was I pulled out of the movie because of the CGI. The really complicated stuff is all done at night with lots of bright lights. So you can hide a lot in shadows and contrast. Very clever. Very nice use of slow-mo every now and then. Love the musical score. Perfect for this movie. Not to mention the music that they used in the closing credits montage of the Iron Man Trilogy. Bizarrely enough, that's a highlight. And it was so well done. It was like a very nice little tidy up. Overall, I had a ball. I had a really good time with this movie. I also expect the MCU to change comic book lore because they constantly do that. Usually for the better and in a way that pays off on the big screen. So, like I said, I had a really good time. What score am I going to give this one? This is an MCU 2. Ties off all his storylines and then sets him up for everything else he gets up to later down the track. Hope you enjoyed my review. Let us know down below what you thought. And most of all, hope you're having a great week. Go watch a movie, and I'll catch you later. No, stop. Stop.